Hello all, welcome to Success Journey. Today we are going to discuss Telangana Teachers Eligibility Test paper 1, and we are going to discuss first of all part 1. So I will be publishing each part in a separate video. So first of all, in this video we are going to discuss part 1, that is Child Development and Pedagogy. Okay, so let's start the video. First question is divergent thinking is characterized by. So the first option goes to option 4, generating multiple solutions or ideas to a problem, because divergent thinking is known as when there are multiple solutions available is known as divergent thinking. Option 2, from the followings, the parenting style that is characterized by the high levels of warmth and support along with the clear and consistent rules. Now in this case the correct option is option 2, authoritarian. Question 3, the method that involves self-reflecting and examination of one's own thoughts and experience. Now it is known as introspection. Option 4, Gestalt psychology as an approach to learning emphasize. Gestalt psychology means is an approach in which the learning process is primarily emphasized on the organization and perception of information as a whole. That means in this Gestalt psychology, the organization and perception both are collectively learned, right? So that is why option A is correct. Next is question 5, the child is denied admission into class 8th in neighborhood school. State whether the act of school is appropriate as per the Right to Education Act 2009. So as per Right to Education 2009, from 6 to 14 year child will be having free and compulsory education. So any school cannot deny it. So the answer will be the school cannot deny admission as the child is entitled for the free and compulsory education till completion of the elementary education. That means from the 6 to 14 year of the child. Next question is, according to NCF 2005, critical pedagogy facilitates students to make collective decision in this way. Now in the sixth question, as per the national curriculum framework, so correct option is through open discussion and recognizing multiple views is the correct option. Next is the RPWD Act 2016 stands for. Now RPWD Act 2016 stands for the Rehabilitation and Protection of Well-being of Disabled Act 2016. So it has asked the full form. So RPWD Act 2016 stands for Rehabilitation and Protection of Well-being of Disabled Act. Next is project-based learning encourages students to. Now project-based learning encourages primarily students to develop and apply knowledge to authentic and real-world situation. So this is what known as project-based learning. Next is, from the following identity the statement that promotes study habits of children. So now we need to select one of the following. So the correct option is third. That means preparation of a study schedule and implementing without deviation. I am not explaining much. I am just presenting here the correct solution. Next question is, in a teacher-centric paradigm of organizing learning, the primary focus is on. So in teacher-centric paradigm of organizing learning, the main or primary focus is on providing explicit instruction and guidance from the teacher. That means extra. Next is Vygotsky concept of the zone of proximal development. That means ZPD refers to. Now ZPD refers to option 3, the difference between what a child can do alone and what the child can do with the help of adult. So difference between these two is known as ZPD. Next is Erickson's psychological stage of 3 to 6 years is characterized by the central conflict of autonomy vs shame and doubt. So in childhood basically these two factors act, especially in case of 3 to 6 year child. 13th question, physical and motor development in an infancy is characterized by. So physical and motor, these two development in what factor characterize these two factor, basically these two things, physical and motor development. So the correct answer is gross and fine motor skill development such as crawling and grasping. 14th question is, a student of class 7th is following the rules of school to maintain the social order through not satisfying with the set rules. The student is in this level of Kolmberg moral development. Now in this case it is the conventional Kohlberg's moral development. It is conventional. 15th, the child learns to walk by falling, getting up, walking and again falling and getting up repeatedly. The principle of development involved here is known as cumulative, because cumulatively the kid is gaining the or learning this process. According to Piaget assimilation refers to, the correct option is here is incorporating new information into existing mental scheme. 17th question, the non-directive approach of counseling was the contribution of, it was the contribution from the Carl Rogers. A teacher assessment different aspect of a student development like conduct, interest, personality, gross and fine motor abilities, learning, etc. In this case the teacher is assessing the development of the student in these domains. So which domain here acting basically? So the domain is cognitive, psychomotor and affective. So these all affecting here. 19th is, among the following statement identify the correct about development. So about development we need to select one of the option. So the correct option in 19th question is development occurs throughout the lifespan. That means development never ending. Next is, in Pavlov's classical conditioning experiment, the unconditioned stimulus is the food. The food is the unconditioned stimulus. 21st question, the person who conducted the research on forgetting is known as Ebbinghaus. The principle of readiness states that the correct option in this case is individual learn best when they are developmentally prepared. So one can learn in the best manner when the personnel is developmentally completely prepared. Next is 23rd, the spiral curriculum suggests that. The spiral curriculum, what it suggests? The spiral curriculum suggests concept and topics should be revised and built upon over time. So concept cannot be learned in a day. It should be revised continuously and then it will be automatically built up. The elements of planning in teaching includes, so what are the elements basically which is the part of planning of teaching. So 24th, the correct option is option 2, setting objective first, then selecting content, then organizing learning experience. So option 2 is the correct answer. Next is, a well planned lesson helps teachers too. So if a teacher has well lesson planned, then what will happen? So correct option is facilitate students engagement and active learning. So if a teacher is having proper lesson plan, then that means it will help teachers to engage students and active learning will be conducted. Next is, an attribute of a good facilitator in teaching is. What is the attribute basically of a good facilitator? So here attribute is option 2, empathy and understanding of students' individual needs. So it is a primary attribute for a good facilitator, that a instructor or facilitator needs to be considered first. One of the following is an example of an affective learning. Affective learning basically includes problem solving and critical thinking. So it is basically covered here in solving complex mathematical problem. That means problem solving and critical thinking. Next, 28th question, this type of forgetting occurs when new information interferes with the recall of previously learned information. It primarily covers retroactive interference. 29th question, the factor that has minimal influence of the in the transfer of learning. Minimal influence. So minimal influence is occur due to the diversity in the learning material. Rest all the options will affect much as compared to option 1 to the transfer of learning. Last question of this part. The individualized educational program, that is IEP, is an educational approach that. So IEP is an educational approach in which it provides a separate educational plan based on the child's special need. So what a child need is primarily the prime approach of this IEP. So this was a part 1. In the next video we will discuss part 2 or part 3 then. Thank you. If you like the content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you all.